Hey guys, it's Kaylin here at Full Purpose and Heart, and it is the end of week 6. So we are going to be doing another video on a recap of the last 2 weeks. So I've done a recap for weeks 1 and 2, 3 and 4. If you have not seen those videos, I will link them above here in the eye in the sky, so you can click over there and see kind of the progression of our weeks. And so now we are in the second week of October, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about some of the strategies and activities that I did that worked really well in our school time, as well as some traditions or things that I did in my life that worked really well. And then I'm going to talk to you about some things I really need to improve on or that didn't work so good. And at the end of the video, I want to talk to you guys about my Only Me October traditions and some things that I've been doing this month for Only Me October. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we are going to start with seeing some things that worked really good for our classes. Now, a lot of the things you may, if you haven't followed me before, then I have one child we're kind of preschooling here at home, and so things have been going really good for the most part. The month of September was really successful, but I felt kind of like when October hit, I lost my momentum, and these last 2 weeks have been kind of tough for me. So I was thinking it was mostly unsuccessful, and as I was kind of contemplating about things I wanted to talk about in my video today, I realized it wasn't as detrimental as I thought it was, and we really did have some good points. So here are a couple of ideas that I did that worked pretty well this week, and hopefully if you're feeling kind of a little lag in your own kind of school time that you're doing at home, or if you're feeling that lack of momentum like I was feeling these last 2 weeks, I would encourage you to try a couple of these ideas because it really helped get me through these last 2 weeks. And although my son's enthusiasm for school has not dwindled at all, he loves everything that I do, and he's always very enthusiastic about my ideas. I feel like I've been kind of trying to give myself momentum. So these ideas really worked for me. So the first suggestion that I want to give you is to take your kids on a field trip or to go out of your home somewhere. We went on a field trip yesterday just to a local fall farm, and it was so refreshing. The weather was beautiful. They had lots of great activities for the kids. It was a little more expensive than I wanted to pay, so I was a little bit hesitant in going, but it just turned out to be so great. So great, in fact, that we're going today with my husband so that he can experience it, and they had kind of a deal if you purchased a hop pass. So that was really refreshing, and it was very motivating, and I love the fall weather and pumpkins and corn on the cob, or corn on the cob, and corn mazes and all that kind of stuff. And this whole festival had all that good stuff. So very refreshing, kind of gave me a new kind of lease on life, I guess you could say, and that was really good. So my first recommendation is to get out of the house if you're feeling that loss of momentum in your school time, kind of like I feel. And it doesn't have to be totally educational. I don't think that we talked about learning about this life cycle of a pumpkin, or what the different names are for a horse that is grown, or a male horse or a female horse or a baby horse. They had all of those things, and they had little educational things, but we didn't even look at them. We just went and had fun, and it was fantastic. So I would recommend that. The second thing that worked really good in our class time was the story, The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything. And if you haven't heard of this story, it's really great. Go to your local library. You're probably going to need to put a hold on it because it's pretty popular amongst other preschools and young grades. But you need to get this book, and then we read this every day all this last week. Our theme was fall and Halloween because it is October, and it just was so great. And then I found on the internet just these free little old lady printables that went along with the story, so we could work on sequencing, and we could make sounds for each of them, and it was really great. And I turned them into flannel boards just by sticking a piece of felt on the back with some hot glue. You can't really see that in the video, but it just worked really great. And it was exciting for my boy, and it was exciting for me, and it was kind of a good repetitive activity that we could do so that we could read the story, and it's Halloween themed. And anyway, so it was really good. So if you're trying to find some activity to do to fill, a little block of time in your school time, or you just want to have a fun story that you can read, I would really recommend this book for this season because it's just a really fun book, and we really like it. So The next thing that I did that I wanted to recommend that worked really good in our class was a nature walk. And in our area, the trees are all changing colors, and so we were able to go outside, and the weather was really beautiful, and we could pick the leaves from the trees and see kind of how the leaves are changing, and some of them are falling, and some of them are still green while others are red and orange, and it just turned out really, really good. And we took all of those things that we had collected, and we came home and we made a wreath. I had cut like a circle out of a cardboard that I just had in the garage, and we glued the leaves to the wreath, and it just was really great, and it was hanging in our house. My boy was super enthusiastic about it. The weather was great, so we all could get out of the house and kind of enjoy the fall weather. We've been talking about seasons all week, so we could, kind of elaborate on that, and it was just really, really good. So again, if you're looking for an idea of something that you can do that's just a little different in your routine, I would recommend going on a nature walk, collecting the leaves, and it gives you kind of a venue that you can talk about the seasons of the year. So if you live in an area that has seasons, I know that I have family that live in Arizona and they don't have seasons there. So hopefully if you don't have seasons and your leaves are not changing colors, then maybe you could just get pieces of paper and kind of go outside and have colored paper kind of around the yard or in the trees or whatever that you could give the idea of the change of the seasons. Show some pictures on the internet, that kind of thing. So anyway, those were 3 really, really great things that worked this last 2 weeks. The week before that, we did dinosaurs. It was pretty good. Actually, I think it was dinosaurs. Gosh, I can't even remember now. Anyway, so we had 2 pretty successful weeks. These next 2 weeks coming up, we're gonna have, we're talking about more Halloween and fall and that sort of thing, and then we're having fall break for the last week of October. So we really only have 1 more week in October that I have to just get through with this lack of momentum that I've been feeling. So that leads me into the second segment here. I wanted to talk about some things that didn't work very good for us. Like I mentioned, I was really feeling a lack of momentum. I feel like September started off just really great, and if you watched my other 2 videos about our week recaps, they're very positive, upbeat, just I was really excited about things and things were working really well. But this last 2 weeks, I think it was just kind of a combination of just, I don't know, wanting to take a break, and like my routines kind of really slowed down, and all of the things that I was doing the month of September I wasn't doing in October, like getting up early and having personal development time and drinking enough water and getting my exercise in, and all of those things that I think made September really good, I didn't do these last 2 weeks. So I really need to improve that time. I wasn't prepared ahead of time. I was kind of scrambling in the mornings before. We try to start our school time at 9, and I feel like between the hours of like 6 to 8:30, I was kind of scrambling through my morning. Well, that's not true because I was sleeping in till like 7. So anyway, I just wasn't as prepared, and so I just need to be better at that. And I'm pointing it out to myself now so that hopefully in the next weeks to come, I can realize that having school time prepared the day before really helps the day of kind of move a lot smoother. So I really need to kind of refresh and focus back on that here for the next 2 weeks to come. So the next thing that I want to work on over the next 2 weeks is to use my library as a better resource. I haven't really been, we've been going there and getting books, but my library has a lot of like community classes that the kids can be involved in, from like craft days and reading days and science days. And every time we go to pick up books, I always see these flyers of the classes that are continuing throughout the school year. So I really want to like be a little bit more focused on utilizing that as an opportunity to kind of do something outside of the home. So my recommendation to you, if you haven't looked into your library to see if they have those kinds of things, most community libraries have like a story time or something, and it's just really great to be able to get out of the house and have something like that that you can utilize. So check your local library and see if they have something like that that you can get involved in. And I know that I'm going to be doing the same, and we'll have to check back in 2 weeks and see what we have. So anyway, that's kind of what's been going on in our school time here at our home, and I feel like I said, I feel like our momentum's kind of slowed down. If you feel like anything like me, then like this video for me, so I feel like I'm not by myself here. And I'm recommitting myself. We have 1 more week before fall break. I'm gonna take fall break off. That will be our 8th week of school, and I'm gonna take the whole week and we're skipping town, in fact, and we're just gonna take a good break. So one more week here and hopefully we'll be able to be successful. Now, the last little bit of this video I wanted to talk to you about was for Only Me October. How many of you guys watched my Only Me October video? If you haven't seen it, you have to jump over there and check out that video and what Only Me October is all about. It has been so great for me, which is interesting because it's kind of exactly opposite from what I was saying about school time, how I was like feeling this lack of momentum and motivation. But the Only Me October has just been really great for me. And I've done a couple of things for myself this month that I wanted to share just to kind of give you guys some ideas of things that you can do and just to kind of give you an update on my Only Me October. So the first Only Me October activity, my husband was so sweet and he took a day off of work and he really encouraged me to take a weekend with my sisters. My sisters and my mom live all over the country. And so we all kind of made the expense and all of our husbands watched the kids so that we could meet together and have a weekend just with no kids and just us. And it was great. We really bonded together and created relationships. So I have one biological sister, one like true sister, and then two sisters-in-law, and they are my sisters, all of them. I just love them so much and they are encouraging, and we laughed and we stayed up until 2 in the morning like teenagers and slept in until 7 in the morning because our kids always wake us up early that none of us can sleep in anymore. And it was so refreshing and so rejuvenating and so good. So, so that was a really fun thing, and it really I came home feeling like a new person, which is probably why this last week of our school time went better than the first week did, than week 5. So that was really a good kind of thing that we did. I've done a couple of other fun things. I took myself out to ice cream. Well, I brought the ice cream home. And guys, I sat on my couch for probably like 4 hours binge watching TLC. Do any of you guys do that? Seriously? Again, like this video if you guys binge watch TLC, because I don't want to feel alone in this. I seriously, they have why do we watch this stuff? I don't know, like 90 Day Fiance, and then I had to watch the 98 Day Fiance Happily Ever After because I happened to stumble on 90 Day Fiance last season, so I wanted to catch up on those people and see how twisted their relationships were or whatever. Anyway, so I watched all of that, and then I watched Counting On because I have, should I say it out loud? I have an obsession with the Duggars. Yes, I totally love the Duggars. So I watched that all night anyway. My sweet husband just went upstairs and went to bed while I just binge watched TLC, and it was so fun, and I don't think I've done that ever before, and I won't be able to do that ever after. So holy cow, watch your favorite shows, watch TLC. Nothing makes you feel more like a woman. Just kidding, I don't know where that came from, but TLC was so good, and I sat there with my Cold Stone ice cream, and it was magical, and I loved it. But then I didn't really feel like a good person the next day because I had stayed up so late the night before. But that's beside the point. I loved it, and I feel like I need to DVR all those TLC shows now because they are so good. I love them. Okay, and the last thing, I got all of my packages out. So that was good, my little Only Me October packages, one for my sister and one for my friend. And my friend even texted me this morning and said that she had got it on time, which was really good because I had put some perishables in the package, so I was hoping that the US Postal Service would get it to her in the next 3 days. And they did, so it was perfect. So anyway, if you have not heard of Only Me October, or you are not celebrating it this year, I am really gonna encourage you to put some time aside for yourself and get an Only Me October tradition going in your life, because it really is so fun and you look forward to it all year, and it's just rejuvenating and really great. So Only Me October, make sure that you do it, and you will feel so much better. So anyway, make sure that you subscribe to my channel if you guys want to hear more videos like this, and like this video so I don't feel alone in some of my really weird obsessions. We're so glad to have you along in the journey, and hopefully you'll have a great day. We'll talk to you guys later.